I've always been inspired by the vehicle and product design you see in anime. I think it's always been dynamic and cool. It really shaped my aesthetic, my personal design aesthetic. And today still it's has affected me. I'm affected by anime. So I chose to do a reimagination of Keneda's bike for this video with Sketchbook Pro. First thing I did was just kind of dissected the what I thought the bike was, what it feels like. The concept is like a hybrid. It's got the aesthetic sportiness of a sport bike, but it has more like a rat chopper package, but he's reclined. Keneda is, that is. And I like the fact that his head is like, it's just comes right above the bike, and it's just got this, it has this really like cool, personality, cool aggressiveness about it. So I started off with the sketch here. You see, I usually sketch first with the pencil because of the versatility you have as opposed to a ballpoint pen. I like being able to quickly lay down a range of values and using the tip and side of the pencil for different shades and line weights. It allows me to clearly early on begin to imagine not only the line, but I can indicate the surface direction as well. And then as I move on, I fill in when you're filling in the black areas, I always try to give myself enough weight to play with by starting off, a little bit lighter and then get darker as I go, and it's always better and clearer look to keep your lines consistent in direction and weight as well, and even the distance your lines have from each other. Try to carry the line weight all the way to the end of the shape so that you can just erase it for a nice clean look. You can be loose as long as you're on a different layer, just have fun with it and then go back in. And I even use the smudge tool sometime to carry that consistency all the way to the edge. And I'm just laying in highlights with the white. Drop the gray background, like a 50% gray, or whatever color you want to use, just to kind of give it that can-son look. Radial tool can be very useful when you want to put treads in, or spokes and wheels. It's a quick, easy tool to use. I love to be able to switch my pencil to erase. It's great for hiding mistakes because you can correct the pencil stroke with the same textured eraser. And I'm just about to start. Also with the line strokes, it's pretty cool that you can kind of use the line strokes to indicate surface direction. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, just adding in some airbrush to fill in the gaps, to kind of make it feel more solid. And here I'm just adding in the finishing touches. The sketch could go further, but it's really time to move on. Putting in a ground by using the perspective tool. So there you have it. Next, we're going to move on to rendering. And rendering is just the next step from that's really that pencil sketch is a black and white rendering. It's really beyond what it really needs to be, but this is just when you want to take it to the next level, add some color, add some more visual communication, more surface description, more section description, materials. So right here I'm just kind of adding like a carbon fiber look to the mid part of the bike. I just took the pattern tool and just distorted it, kept distorting it till I got that splaying out. It's like, distorted look. Yeah. Okay, so I got the airbrush tool, using that just to lay down some highlights. But this is really just a rough rendering sketch. It's really a sketch, but as you can see, I'm going to take it to a more cleaner level by just breaking down all the shapes to solids and putting everything on different layers. So you kind of do want to use a different color for everything, or kind of like the color that you're going to be using to to render it. So I'm getting the blacks in, just taking all the black shapes and put them all on one layer really helps you with just keeping a clear understanding of how, what you're doing, because it's just more it simplifies. You can simplify everything down to like 4 layers almost if you don't work too fast. I mean, sometimes I work so fast I don't feel like combining layers. I just stack them on, and then I got a mess to clean up. But you can really just break it down to body color, your blacks and your whites and your reflections. So that's what I'm pretty much doing here with the mask, and everything is going to be really crisp. I'm going to go in. I've got to zoom in. You got to zoom in to do this, because there's no way you're gonna get it to that level without zooming in. The swing arm, I separated that with lighter gray to kind of give it some depth. So yeah, now I'm even taking that sketch I had before and just kind of like using the smudge tool to bring it to the edge, and then because I have everything masked off now, I can really easily clean up things. So it really helps out. It takes a lot of time to get those shapes clean and perfect, but once you got them, you got them, and you can just always go back to them. It really helps out, because you'll see later how one technique I use is I will just take the whole illustration. I could save it out as a file, then select it all, and then I can create different effects by taking the hue or just the value down and duplicating that layer, and then erasing it to show the lighter valued layer under it. So it's like a way to do a spotlight effect. The livery is, as you can see, I had to manipulate so it wasn't, there was some issues there, but yeah, just I did overlays, and then I duplicated the livery, did overlays, and then I just changed the opacity on the second layer, so to give it a little bit of color, because when you do an overlay, it kind of takes the original color out. So and then I'm putting in the reflections on a separate layer that's on top of everything. Then I just take that, just using a solid brush with no soft, no type of variation to it. It's just solid brush with the layer reduced down to 15%. And I'm finishing up here, throwing a background in. Background, just doing a little reflection technique. It's always easy and cool to do a reflection technique, but I was trying to give the floor itself some sort of dimension. And there's the technique I was telling you about, where I just erased the layer above it to reveal what's under it. But this is the final rendering. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. Tune in for more. I will be posting some other things, tutorials and such. And that is it. Thank you.